Welcome to another Mike Reads Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Thomas Sowell's Trickle-Down Theory and Tax Cuts for the Rich, something we actually read previously. I'll post a link in this video's description to that video because the whole book is done in one read. I'll also post a link in this video's description to where I bought this on Amazon so you can get the exact same version and understand which one I'm talking about. So first things first, you saw how long this whole book is. What this actually is, to me, is not really a proper book. It reads much more like an essay of an incredibly specific topic, which is probably why it's so short. Interestingly, the whole thing is 13 pages, but the last 4 pages of the book are his citations. So he's got a third of the content of the book is just citations, which to me is something that I love, because not that I necessarily would, although I probably will for some of these citations, to check his citations and to review his notes. But I love the fact that I can actually do that. And there's a lot of books that I've read, and actually that I'm reading right now, that don't include that. Right now I'm reading Mises's Human Action, and he's got, in the first 300 pages, which is about where I am right now, maybe 5 citations in the first 300 pages, which is one of the things I love about Sowell. So I usually conclude with a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Today, the whole book is only 13 pages, so this whole review should only be about 2 or 3 minutes, I think anyways. So I'm going to just lead right off with my 1 to 10 review, and that is, it's a full-on 10. This is extremely well done. The verbiage is incredibly understandable. He uses common parlance. He uses actual quotes of what people said. The point that he's making is a very poignant one, and he does a very good job of refuting the people he's actually looking to refute. And no, these aren't straw man claims, because he's actually quoted the people that have made these claims, which are that, these tax cuts are based on some sort of trickle-down theory and tax cuts for the rich. Would I recommend this book? Absolutely. Here's the purpose I would recommend it for. If you ever find yourself running into this incredibly specific claim of trickle-down theory and tax cuts for the rich, you can use the content of this book and the sources that are cited in here to refute the fact that there even is a trickle-down theory, because it's never been actually used, and that tax cuts for the rich are actually tax cuts for the rich. And not that I'm going to actually make his case, but the idea basically is that in those times where we have seen wide-scale tax reductions in the tax rate, the wealthiest people during those times of reduced rates actually wind up paying more in total revenue collected than they would have otherwise. And on top of that, they in both absolute and relative terms. And he makes this incredibly well. Like I said, he doesn't speak above his reader like Mises does, like Hayek loves to do. He doesn't beat around the bush like Hayek, who took 10 chapters to get to the point. He makes it very clear what his point is going to be and what his argument is in the very first page. So that's something I like. And those of you who have seen my previous reviews, man, I love concision, and you don't get much more concise than this. So yeah, this to me is a rare absolute 10 out of 10. I'll just briefly talk about the actual physical copy that I got. I love it. To me, it's the perfect size fit for my hands. The margins are the exact right size for my thumbs to fit. We don't have too much or too little margins in the upper and lower margins. The font is just like the perfect font. I think it's just plain Times New Roman, but the size is right. The paper that they've used is super bright white, and the actual font is a nice bold colored black, which is very black, so you can really see the contrast. Makes for a very ergonomic read. And I mean, I think the whole thing was like $3 when I bought it on Amazon. Again, link is in the description, so you guys can check on that for me. And I also think that if you want to get the digital version of this book, you can get it, I think, for free. Now, I prefer to actually physically hold a book. I think it provides for a more ergonomic read. And, I like to actually flip through pages, and it doesn't hurt my eyes to be staring at a screen when I'm holding a book rather than staring at a screen. So, yeah, that was Thomas Sowell's Trickle-Down Theory and Tax Cuts for the Rich. I absolutely loved it. 10 out of 10. Totally recommend it. So thanks for sticking with me through this review, and we will see you in the next one. Good night, folks.